Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to show you how to grind your knives with a push stick. I'm just using a small piece of wood. Find something that works for you, that fits your hand, and doesn't get caught as you're sliding the blade across. To start, we've got to grind a 45-degree angle on the edge, so we have a reference to grind to. We'll get to that now. Now we have the 45-degree on both sides. As you can see, let's take this blade to the grinder. From this position we can see the 45-degree angle. And when we start grinding, we're grinding so we can't see that 45-degree anymore. It will be as though we're grinding away the shadow. Now we'll put the blade against the belt. And we can let it sit there until we're comfortable, and then once we're ready, we'll push in. And when we first start grinding this initial bevel, we'll be pushing quite high up on this knife. It's important to remain center within the belt. You don't want to go off either side, otherwise you'll start pushing your blade on an angle and you'll make more of those divots. So remain central and remain high. If you bring it down too low too quickly, you'll grind your spine. Always check your knife after each pass. You want to make sure that your grind line is going to where you want it and that you're not straying off anywhere. And this allows you to change the angle you might be pushing at, or the height, or the pressure, because all these things affect how you're going to grind and where you're going to grind. If you're not entirely comfortable with your ability to grind your plunge line before heat treat, sometimes it's good to leave a little bit here, half a centimeter or so, just to give you a bit of leniency. And you can grind this area in after heat treat at a slower speed when you're more comfortable with your grinding. When you're pre-heat treat grinding, heat doesn't matter as much. But if you're post-heat treat grinding, and you're using a push stick, you have to remember to dunk after every pass. If you're grinding normally, you'll be able to feel the heat in your fingers. If you're grinding with a push stick, you can't feel that heat, so you can't feel if your blade is about to overheat. This is important after every pass to dunk it in the water and return back to your grinding. If you don't do this, you can burn your edge really easy. Another issue people have is they're using dull belts and they're grinding with a push stick, and as they are grinding, the ceramics start to glaze over and it becomes slippery. This means that your finger can easily slip up and come into the grinder, and it's going to end your day in a not very pleasant way. When you first come to the grinder, your the belt is moving, you can hold your blade there with minimal pressure here and no movement here, and your knife won't grind. It's only once you start to push with this push stick that it actually starts to remove metal. So if you want to take your time and get comfortable with where you're going to grind, you can hold that knife there for a period of time while you get used to it and while you're getting to learn where that's going to grind. I'll show you what I mean by that. So as you can see, I'm not pushing with either of my hands. My arm isn't moving. The stick isn't pushing against the steel. But as soon as I start to push, it starts to grind steel. If you're grinding in a distal taper, you don't have to start back here after every pass. You can start your grind midway or even near the tip, as long as you're not over grinding your edge by pushing lower down. This way you can have a nice distal taper in your spine. If you are grinding a distal taper in the front end of your blade, it's important to blend the layers together. If you remove too much in here without removing a little bit in here, you'll get a step in your blade. And when you go to finish that, you can see it. The belt I'm using today is a clean sport ceramic belt. This is the 912Y. This belt is amazing. It's my favorite belt. I prefer it over any other belt. And Cole in the office will tell you the same thing. I've ground a few blades with this belt already before I did this demo. As you can see, it's ripped away at this metal like it was nothing. So definitely worth them. Push stick grinding is my favorite version of grinding because it allows me to know exactly where the pressure's going. I can choose the height of my grind very easily, and I can choose whether to back off or back on more very quickly, rather than burning your hands all the time with freehand grinding. This stick allows you to step away from the heat and provides a much nicer grinding experience, in my opinion. Give it a shot, see what you like, and let us know what you think. Thanks guys.